You're making this much harder than it needs to be. You're making this much harder than it needs to be.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud... As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back. And as long as there's no sorcerers, there's no point wandering. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
What's this? I found something.
I bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. Oh, wonderful. It's like I always said. Everyone's got a melody in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he was a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother. Stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's Day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean deadly. Used to make bows and fletch arrows, but left that hobby behind. Oh, I'd say he cut me to the bone, but the truth is more like a bludgeon, ain't it? Maybe I could do my part to help your efforts. Come back later then. I need a bit of time to carve something useful.
There are soldiers here, or knights perhaps. They look capable.
Halt, traveller, if you please. Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. It's a void-woken hellhole over there. Sorcerer at work. Powerful one. Of course, you could wait for the Magisters to sort them out. You'll be waiting. Holding the fort like we always do. Usually the fort in question is bigger than this one, but you do the job in front of you, don't you? Seems someone high up doesn't trust the magisters to do their jobs out there. What should you expect beyond the bridge? Expect sorcery of the highest order. Expect Voidwoken, bigger and badder than you've ever seen. Expect the void. Expect to die. Go on through, adventurer. We won't stop you.
Heading east? If I were you, I wouldn't. You look tough, but you ain't tough enough. East'll be your funeral. The rolling pastures of Paradise Downs ain't paradisical no more.
You've hit a nerve. He looks away.
Ain't none of your business why I'm still here.
He can't look you in the eye.
I left my girl out there, alright? Sally and me got split up, and I said we'd meet up here. And I ain't going back out there looking for her. You can judge me all you want. I ain't ashamed.
He nods, but the shame pricks him. Yet, he still can't look you in the eye.
You ain't seen it out there. You'll find your own limits quick enough.
He turns away.
I shall not mourn till war is done. Who shall avenge you, darling one? I'll hold my
A senior paladin sits hunched over a tattered map. He registers your presence, sits back in his chair, taps his fingers on the map.
Darling one.
Who are you, and who sent you?
He appraises you with a look, then grimly grins.
You look like you can handle yourself. I bet you have some stories to tell, and not all of them inside the Magister's idea of the law. Ah, yes. Discretion is the soul of valor, as they say. I may have a job for a woman of great valor and discretion. Interested? The truth. Between battlefield losses and desertion, I barely have enough live bodies to hold the bridge. Besides, this job is better done by someone other than a paladin. Someone like you.
He taps a finger on the map on the table.
Here, in the Black Pits, are White Magisters. Their operation is shrouded in mystery, and this pricks our ears. We are gravely concerned. We believe the White Magisters may have strayed into the darkness. We suspect that Dallas herself and her master Vriedemann are the inspiration for these dark endeavors. Look under the white veil of secrecy and report back. How much do you want? I have fewer paladins to pay, so I have ready gold. But there are limits. You think very highly of yourself indeed. We have a deal.
He offers you an item. A whistle-like device sits nestled in your hand.
When you're ready, send a war owl. Be careful out there. It's a dangerous place these days. And I'd like to think I'll hear from you again. And, adventurer...
He looks you in the eye.
Don't get caught.
By Lucian's sword, we meet again. Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy, but they're not. Voidwoken lying wait beyond the bridge.
Seems like the only work these days is in fixing weapons. This will do.
The paladin sends arrow after arrow into the trees. She whips her head and fixes you with an intense look.
They're coming. That, my friend, depends on your definition of okay. There's Voidwoken out there, and they're coming for us.
She turns back to the forest, her bow held ready.
I guess I can be okay with that.
I shall not mourn till war is done.
Jonathan, how long has it been?
Gareth looks to the limp body at his feet, then to you, sword raised. He isn't quite present, but lost in his own tangled thoughts.
I knew I'd see him again. I wish it hadn't been like this. Yes, you are right. It's in a different place at a different time. A time when I was devoted to the Divine Order. A time when we faced a crossroads.
Gareth softly pokes the listless man's torso with his foot.
This man, this Magister, his name is Jonathan. He's my friend. Or was my friend. I led him here. I felt someone's gaze on me from almost the very moment I stepped foot on the coast. Lucian taught never to ignore augury. And sure enough, I saw the flash of white. I heard the sprigs snapping. Someone was watching, following. I came here and waited. The door swung open and it was him. A face I hadn't seen since I was called to the Seekers. He didn't... Now I must do as duty requires.
Gareth raises his blade and tightens his grip, but falters. He cannot strike the final blow. Gareth's fingers open and close around his sword's hilt. His breathing quickens, his forehead wrinkles, yet his arm remains suspended in air. Blood seeps from Jonathan's wound and pools at Gareth's feet. He stares at the stream as it carves a path around his boots.
What? What have you done?
Gareth's eyes go glassy. There is no warmth, no chill, no joy, no sadness. It is as if the void has possessed him.
I need to go. Away from here. Away from this. Away from you. Yes, you're right. There's little time for tears. When it is time to sail, I will be ready.
I've spotted something. Maybe the river could be crossed on that. I see a cage, and there's something in it.
He has 10,000 names, all true and cruel.
In the darkness of the woods, you spot a man overlooking a cage that holds creatures crept from a nightmare. Despite the all-too unsettling nearness of these horrors, he looks poised, regal even, and wholly at ease.
Go on. Step in from the shadows. Let's have a look at the wanderer lost in the woods. Oh, they're meek as lambs, really. If you've the wits to outsmart them.
He eyes you with a sudden intensity, makes you feel like a weight upon a scale, balanced against an unknown measure.
But you... there's something different about you. A desire to be seen through, so that I may know you for who you truly are, when you're yourself alone. It's been a while, hasn't it? Since your heart leapt in your chest because of your feelings. Since your hands reached for something delicate to your touch. Even now you see visions repellent to you. You see me as a mess of meat beset by maggots, your fingers sinking slowly into the slush that were my eyes, licking your thumbs. Yes, I know how they work. Visitors like yours.
Suddenly, the tip of a dagger presses against your throat.
Take a step back. Thank you. I do apologize for my ungentlemanlike behavior, but I see through you, just like you desire. I see what's inside of you. You, Lohse, are an amalgam too hideous to contemplate. One who has a demon coiled around her god-woken heart. And what's more, you've brought it all the way here. To me. Why? Want is a dangerous word. Want implies desire. We tend to do far too much to get what we crave. No one knows this better than your demon.
He steps back and passes his gaze over you, his face impassive.
There is nothing I know better than demons. And you've long since moved beyond the stage of mere possession. Your soul is still yours only because it is God-woken. In dealing with you, I risk everything. But of course, I won't refuse you. I'll do my best to drive the demon out. However, there's much work to be done first. The plan is twofold. First, you must do me a favor. Then I will teach you. Enlarge your mastery of the source. You will need all the strength you can muster, and more, before we confront your visitor. The second part we'll discuss after the lesson. So first, let us turn to the favor. Quid pro quo, I'm afraid. A tad vulgar of me, that much I admit, but needs must when the demon drives. I've a demon of my own, you see. One I've been hunting for a long time, and now I've managed to track him down to the island over yonder.
He points towards the northeast. You see nothing in that direction but grey water and a thick mist in which ghoulish shapes seem to form and fade.
I know it's there. My caged guests have confirmed as much. But to my great frustration, I cannot reach my goal. Death fog surrounds the island, and through death fog even I cannot pass. That is where you come in. Of course, you are but a mortal, for now. But you are God-woken as well. Surely you have a few tricks up your sleeve. Consider it a test. Kill the demon, and I will be your teacher. Then let me shake your hand and describe your target. The demon's guise, or vessel, one can't be quite certain, is that of a lizard known only as the Advocate. Like all of his ilk, he is kind, he is charming. He will offer you what you desire most at seemingly no cost at all. There is no such thing as no cost at all. My advice is to strike before he even has a chance to speak. But should you choose to disregard me, should you allow him to parley, all you have to do is say no. Above all else, remember that.
He smiles, like one would at a child, asking about the birds and the bees.
I know because I've known others like you. Those whose fates are chained, for better or for worse, to that of the gods themselves. I have battled the foe of foes, and conquered it. For a while. I have sat in perfumed gardens with the source herself, drank life from her very lips. I have seen well over 2,000 springs, and will continue to do so until time itself closes its weary eyes. Trust me, I know what you are, and what you can be. It is a place of irony, if you will. Once the site of an academy dedicated to the art of demon hunting, now the remnant of a dream sliced open into nightmare. Rumor has it An exorcism went wrong there long ago, and for a short time a great demon stood unopposed. Had it not been for Dr. Deva, the entirety of Reaper's Coast could have looked like Blood Moon Island looks today. He contained the demon and its blood spawn to the doomed shores of the isle, surrounded it with death fog, and never looked back. I met him once, during a soiree in Arx. Quite the eccentric is Dr. Deva. But then again...
He looks you up and down.
Aren't we all? May you wander in wisdom.
Once this was a place of holy learning. Clearly, also statue making. Very important statues.
A haughty-looking undead woman, unmasked, surveys the ground around her, seeking something. Suddenly, her head swivels, and she trains an imperious gaze upon you.
What side do you take?
Her voice is clipped and detached, with metallic overtones. It even seems to echo, as if she's speaking to you from very far away. She cocks her skull to one side with a nightmarish creak. Though her shiny visage is completely devoid of emotion, you sense confusion in her manner. Confusion and more than a little scorn.
Quick now, quickly. Do you support Divine Order or Black Ring? Good. We can talk and perhaps trade. I have books, though I hate to part with them. And you, hopefully, you have something I want. Eithne was my name.
She slaps her face violently as she corrects herself, dislocating her loose jawbone and powdering the earth beneath her feet with bone dust.
I was a librarian in Arx for the glory of the Order. The ring came, burnt my library to the ground. My books, they are all I have, all I had. I had to save them. The flames. There was no making it out alive. But as the fire caught my magical scrolls, they all turned to a rain of glittering ash. I awoke covered in it. And here I stand. That would be prudent if I wanted to stay alive. Or whatever it is that I am now. Survival is not something that interests me any longer. Not in this form.
Suddenly, she leans towards you with an unnerving creak.
Enough about that. time travelling as I look for a particular book. A tome to teach me how to make corpses explode. Would you have anything like that I could learn from?
She scuffs one boot in the ashen dust at her feet and gazes off to the far horizon.
For my collection?
She opens and closes her jaw several times before deciding to speak. She dusts off her tunic as she confides in you, leaving a musty scent lingering in the air, like an old attic piled high with mildewed paper.
I spent years alone in a study researching the afterlife. I don't want this shadow existence. What is this world but a training ground for the next? What is this decaying body but the tool to get me there? I have almost everything I need to go. I just need that book.
With a curt nod, she turns back to her books.
Keeping it together, Reeve. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than it does on your
The door has been sealed shut. The Magisters have nailed a notice to the door. The notice reads, "Warning, do not enter, crime scene. Meister Siva has been accused of conspiracy, murder and high treason. She shall hang by the hands at the farmlands gallows until trial. Anyone found trespassing on these premises before her trial concludes shall be charged as an accomplice and will share her fate." You notice that the message is signed Magister Raymond in the name of Dallas Most Holy.
You can't go in, missus. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked the door. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for God people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me, but then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone listening.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns and skips away.
anyone know what they've done to you?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! That's internal order business. You do well to leave it alone. Let's just say Zeus and there was of help to sorcerers, and leave it at that.
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there like a stage-struck peasant. If you're waiting for me to applaud and cry encore, you may be disappointed. I'm in no position to clap.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and growls.
Malady is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope.
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Insufferably stupid, as if there was any doubt. Oof! It was obvious, God-woken. You are whippet thin, implying you've been a captive. Your wrists have seen the sun, but your neck has not, so you sported a collar, not shackles. Thus you escaped Fort Joy. After an escape, any sane creature would rest, but the bags under your eyes indicate you haven't. Why not? You must have been chased. Thus you must have been important. No one important escapes a prison without help, and no one frees sorcerers bar the Seekers. They thought you were worth saving, and thus I surmise you are God-woken. Now, an important person does not come to Driftwood unless they seek someone even more important than themselves, so I further surmise you are here for me and will help me down. Now!
A slow, pained grin spreads across the lizard's face. Her tongue flickers.
Not quite as stupid as I imagined. I am head of the Seekers, girl. I can taste your sauce. It wafts about you like honeysuckle on the breeze. Now, if you would be so kind, my bonds. Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net. Excellent. Now, if you'd be so kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
Magister's back. She doesn't feel like playing, but... Lohse, of course. Told you I would, didn't I? Sure thing.
Nothing good. The Voidwoken are everywhere. Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen, Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Your talent for following push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls and taking your time, you carefully...
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Then it's time to smarten up. This responsibility isn't one of the meek, the selfish, or, in your case, the ignorant. No, becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use her power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Once, although not by a god woken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly, wincing slightly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. Well, certainly. It is not my place to police the stupidity of others. I have to admit I was curious. Imagine if it had been a success. Why, then anyone could have ascended, even I. Alas, success was beyond her reach. Quite fascinating to watch, though. I've never seen a body burn from the inside out before. And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and Drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
This recess of my soul, but it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you. I was worried you weren't coming. Isn't that just the question? I come bearing a gift. See? Look into my eyes. There. Now wait. Wait. Ah. Now speak the spell and see what I've gotten for us.
Go on. Pretty fantastic, isn't it? You're a step closer toward becoming like one of them now. I gave you a gift. Made you like one of the gods. A bit, anyway. You can see spirits now. Try it next time you cut some innocent to bits. You'll be able to find out just what their sweet little soul thinks of you. Certainly. And here I am, all by my lonesome. The other Godwoken will find one of the 7 hiding out in their souls, you know. Shriveled, half-dead gods looking to steal source from their chosen in exchange for the power to see spirits. I wouldn't be so quick to differentiate. Let me tell you a little something about the 7. They need source, and they're running out of it. Soon enough, they'll be little more than dead, dry husks, light enough to knock down with a puff of air. That is, unless they get help. Why would they want you? You think the gods have any use for a 2-bit singer with a parade of unpredictables marching through her head? You may be Godwoken, but that doesn't make you worthy. But that doesn't matter, Lohse. I saw something special in you. Something they didn't see. That's enough. You'll be sorry you ever spoke to me that way, by the time this is done. Look what you can do. You can bless. You can see the spirits of the world. When will you believe that all I want is to see you, to see us, succeed? The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching them in ways I only dreamed were possible. Drop by drop, they drain away, and your path forward becomes all the clearer. The gods have gone into hiding within your fellow Godwoken. They seek to become what we are, stronger together, unstoppable together. But we are far ahead of them already, and I know where we must go next. The Well of Ascension. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? You're smarter than you look. It's a lake, really. A pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. The Seven, fools that they are, each gave up half their powers to create the first divine. To bathe in the lake is to become divine. We'll do more than that, though. Feeling thirsty? The gods are weak. Weaker than I expected. The void is nearly here. You need to go to the Well of Ascension and absorb the source of the Seven. All of it. Then you'll become a god. How does that sound? Without me, you would have died in a shipwreck before you even got to Fort Joy. I have been good to you, Lohse. Remember that. The world needs someone to safeguard it against the void. With the powers of the gods, you'll do a great job. Don't you think? That's fine, Lohse. You don't have to speak. But do listen. We'll make our way to the lake, but not yet. Not until you've become a true master of the Source. You'll need to learn to speak the language of creation itself. It won't be easy. You'll need to find tutors, masters of the Source, people who can teach you to increase the volume of Source you can control. Few remain, and the ones who do have been driven to the brink of survival. The Order has made certain of that. Still, I have full faith in you, Lohse. You'll find them, and you'll convince them to teach you. Once you have, find me here again. We'll move forward from there. Till next time, darling.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She stares intently for a moment, taking in every detail before sighing deeply.
You didn't have enough source, did you? You had all the materials, but not the source. That is unfortunate. Indeed not. And ever more difficult when you've been purged. I was a master of source once, but no longer. The Magisters saw to that. The river of my source has been dammed. My link to the font from which it flows, severed. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Were the circumstances any different, I would indeed agree. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.